Before the sound, before the stars were counted, or the dark was named, there was intention without a voice, a knowing held together by a will that doesn't strain. Nothing formed itself, nothing guessed its way through. Every breath of order still remembers you. I was often, oh, not assembled by chance. Oh, I was spoken into measure and balance. Oh, I don't hold the beginning. Oh, I don't carry the end. I exist inside the wisdom that already understands every pattern, oh, every law, oh, every rhythm still responding to the word that made it law. No confusion, no delay, nothing wandering without direction, nothing left to drift away. I don't need to force the future, I don't need to rush the now. Oh, what was written into motion is still moving how you allow. I was authored, oh, with intention and care. Not a moment unaccounted, not a breath unaware. I don't shape the unfolding, I don't question the plan. I remain inside the wisdom of the Most High, who understands. And if I listen, order speaks. If I rest, truth repeats. If I listen, oh, if I rest, truth repeats. Before I knew the question, you already knew the way. I am living in the answer the Most High authored from the first thought.
Before the light knew where to land, before the dust became a name, there was a breath upon the deep, an order waiting for your flame. No argument, no race demand, no force to make creation move, just truth released without delay. And what you said became the proof. You didn't shout across the void, you spoke in silence, learned its place. Every word was filled with life, every sound was filled with grace. You spoke it into form, and it answered you. Heaven moved when you released the word. What you say becomes what is. Nothing resists your voice. It all aligns when you speak. What was unseen is fully formed when it comes from you. No tension in the way you speak. No, you speak. No effort hiding underneath. Creation Creation leans to hear you breathe and gather shape of your decree. Not rushed, not late, not out of time. Each moment held within your hand. The sound of truth goes forth complete, and all that hears begins to stand. You never wrestle things to life. You never strain to make them be. You speak from fullness, not from lack, and that is why the earth agrees. You spoke it into form, and it answered you. Heaven moved when you release the word. What you say becomes what is. Nothing resists your voice. It all aligns when you speak. What was unseen stands fully formed when it comes from you. Let there be, and there was. Let there be, and it stood. Your word still moves. Your word still builds. The breath of Yah is speaking still. You speak it into form. Every promise carries life within. Nothing spoken falls to ground. I rest inside your voice. I don't need to produce. What you release is already done when it comes from you. Not forced, not rushed, not torn into. Yeah. What you speak comes true. I used to think the moments were scattered, like pieces moving without a hand. But every turn I did not understand was still arriving right on time. I see the steps before I knew the path, the pauses teaching me to stand. Nothing wasted, nothing lost, even when I could not see the plan. There is a rhythm under every breath, a reason deeper than the test. This was ordered, not random. Nothing fell out of place. Every door, every delay was arranged in sequence. I was carried through the pattern, even when I did not know. The Most High was writing lines I will read later on. I question why the road bent sideways, why the answer did not come. But the silence shaped my hearing, so I would know the voice when it arrived. Looking back, the lines connect. What felt broken now makes sense. Every season had a purpose, even when it felt intense. There is a wisdom moving time, a design beyond my sight. This was ordered, not random. Nothing fell out of place. Every door, every delay was arranged by I was carried through the pattern, even when I did not know. The Most High was writing lines I will read later on. I released the need to figure it out. can see it now. Every step, every way was teaching me how the Most High was always present, even when I walked alone. What I thought was coincidence was heaven all exactly where I am sent.
I used to rush the unfolded, trying to speed the hands of time. But every breath was already counted, every step was drawn in line. Nothing missing, nothing had it, and then spilling past the edge. I am learning how to trust what is given, what it's heard. There is a wisdom in restraint, a mercy and a pain. I am held in measure, not too much, not too far. Every rise, every limit was exactly where we are. Held in measure by a love that does not rush. The Most High sets the boundary, and in all this hidden love, I wanted more than I could carry, more than silence, more than still. But the weight is shake my shoulders, so I would not break my will. Every guest has its timing, every no a hidden grace. Nothing comes before its season, nothing skips the other place. There is protection in the frame, oh, the purpose in the weight. I am held in measure, not too much, not too far. Every rise, every limit knows exactly where we are. I'm held in measure by a love that does not rush, yet decides the portion that it always be love. I'll release the urge to hurt, I let go of overflow. If it fills my head today, it is all I need to hold. God in this on me will be me, when my heart can carry more. Now trust the timing of your wisdom, I do not force the door. I am held in measure, I can rest beside the light. Every breath, every moment
it happened out of nowhere, like the moment found me blind. But even what I call surprise was already drawn in time. Nothing landed without reason, nothing reached me by mistake. Every step I tried to question was a path I had to take. There is a hand beyond my seeing, there is meaning in the way. This was by design, not chance. Nothing random in my story. Every turn, every delay was carrying me forward. This was by design, not chance. Even when I did not know what I thought was just a moment, was a seed that had been sown. Was a seed that had been sown. Was a seed that had been sown. I replayed the broken pieces, wondering how they fit, but the order showed up later when I finally looked back in it. Every meeting, every ending, every door that did not stay played a part in shaping vision I could only see today. There is intention in the waiting, there is wisdom in the space. This was by design, not chance. Nothing random in my story. Every turn, every delay was carrying me forward. This was by design, not chance. Even when I did not know what I thought was just a moment, was a seed that had been sown. Was a seed that had been sown. Was a seed that had been sown. I stopped calling it coincidence, I stopped naming it mistake. If it reached me, it was chosen. If it left me, it was grace. I trust the order underneath what I cannot yet explain. Yeah, I was present in the process, every outcome, every frame. This was by design, not chance. I can feel the pattern now. Every loss and every gain was teaching me somehow. The Most High was always working long before I understood. Was directing me for good. Nothing wasted, nothing lost. Everything arrives on time.
I once believed the cracks meant failure, that something slipped outside the plan. But nothing wandered from its place, nothing escaped the shaping hand. Every fault I tried to name was still contained inside the way. What I thought was misalignment was alignment on delay. There is no breach in what unfolds, no loose end left behind. There is order without error, nothing broken, nothing wrong. Every moment holds its purpose, even when the way feels long. There is order without error, nothing slips beyond the line. What I called a complication was precision over time. Over time. by outcomes, yeah, by results I could defend. But the design was deeper than the answers at the end. Yeah, every failure taught me balance, every loss refined my sight. Nothing written out of sequence, nothing reached me out of time. There is no flaw in how it forms. No absence in the design. Error, nothing broken, nothing wrong. Every moment holds its purpose, even when the way feels long. There is order without error, nothing slips beyond the line. What I called a complication was precision over time. I release the urge to interfere. I step out of self-defense. If it came, it had assignment. If it stayed, it had intent. I no longer fight the process, I no longer fear the cause. There was never imperfection, only vision I had lost. There is order without error, you rest inside the truth. Every season, every moment was instructing something new. There is order without error, nothing missing, nothing late. What I once called interruption was the method, not the mistake. Nothing failed, nothing flawed. Everything belongs. Everything belongs.
I was searching for direction, looking outward for a sign, but the noise kept pulling focus till I learned to realign. Every answer I was chasing only came when I stayed. Nothing spoke above the quiet, nothing rushed the truth my way. I stopped reaching for the moment, and the moment reached for me. Stillness is the signal, not the hurry, not the sound. When I let the silence settle, that is when you are found. Stillness, it is the signal, not the force, not the demand. When I cease the endless motion, I can finally understand. Yeah. Oh, I thought clarity was movement, thought the next step held the key, but the wisdom waited calmly till I stopped surrounding me. Every breath became instruction, every pause began to speak. Nothing louder than the quiet when I chose not to compete. I laid down the need for answers, and the knowing came with me. This is the signal, not the hurry, not the sound. When I let the silence settle, that is when you are found. Yeah, this is the signal, not the force, not the demand. When I feel it when I wait. Every moment holds instruction when I choose not to escape. Stillness signal. But nothing missing, nothing late. What I thought was hesitation, I am listening, I am present, I am here, I am here.
I expected something louder, something clear and full of sound, but the message came in quiet when the room was settled down. Nothing pushing for attention, nothing forcing me to hear, just a knowing in the stillness when the clutter disappeared. I leaned into the silence, and the silence leaned back. He whispered, not to compete with all the noise. He whispers, so the heart can hear the voice. When everything else quiets, that is when it becomes clear. He whispers, because listening draws near. I was trained to chase instruction, to demand a sign or proof, but the wisdom waits for listening, not for urgency or truth. Every pause became a doorway, every breath a gentle lead. Nothing spoken over stillness, nothing rushed what I would see. I stopped trying to interpret and began to simply hear. He whispered, not to compete with all the noise. He whispers, so the heart can hear the voice. When everything else quiets, that is when it becomes clear. He whispers, because listening draws near. I do not need it louder, I do not need it fast. What is meant to reach my spirit never struggles to get past. If the sound is barely noticed, if the tone is soft and slow, that is how I know it matters. That is how I know. He whispered, and the meaning settles in. He whispered, without effort, without spin. When the world demands reaction, he invites me into rest. He whispered, and the whisper knows me best. I am listening, I am open, I am still.
I spend my years holding trying to manage every turn, mistaking pressure for responsibility, believing strength was what I earned. I thought if I let it rest, everything would fall apart. So I tightened every answer and called the tension hard. But what was steady did not need me. What was true did not depend. I am kept, not carried. I am held without my strength. Nothing resting on my shoulders, nothing slipping through my hands. I am kept, not carried. I was never meant to bear what I tried to hold together was already held with care. I confused control with covering, mistook effort for belief. But the moment I released it, relief arrived without relief. Every breath became lighter, every step returned to pace. What I thought was my assignment was never mine to take. There is freedom in surrender, there is strength in letting go. I am kept, not carried. I am held without my strength. Nothing resting on my shoulders, nothing slipping through my hands. I am kept, not carried. I can finally understand what was never put upon me was never mine to plan. I stopped performing endurance, I stopped proving I am strong. If it requires constant holding, it was never meant that long. I trust what keeps me steady, I rest inside that truth. What sustains me does not ask me to supply what it can do. I am kept, not carried. I can breathe without the load. Every step is being guided, even when I do not know. I am kept, not carried. Nothing fragile in my care. What I feared would drop without me was never placed there. I am not the holder, I am the one held. I no longer reach for answers, I no longer race the page. Everything that needed saying was already set in place. I spent my years rewriting, trying to add a better line, but the story kept unfolding without asking for my mind. Nothing left to rearrange, nothing left to prove. I am at rest in what was written, not resisting, not afraid. Every word already placed before I learned the name. I am at rest in what was written. I do not need to interfere. What was formed before the asking is still forming me right here. I mistook control for safety, mistook effort for belief, but the peace around when I loosen my own grip. Every chapter had its reason, every pause its hidden role. Nothing needed my correction, nothing missing from the whole. There is comfort in completion, there is trust beyond the view. Was never meant to leave me weak. I stopped reaching for the ending. I stopped shaping what will be. If it found me, it was chosen. If it formed me, it was key. There is wisdom in acceptance. There is strength in letting be. I am not the author now. I am present, I am free. I am etched in what was written, every breath already known. Nothing added, nothing taken from the pattern that has grown. What was written, I do not need to understand. Peace is not in knowing more. It is trusting pending, nothing old. I am home. I